Koch dynasty. The Koch dynasty Pron, Cat was a dynasty that ruled regions in the eastern part of the Indian subcontinent, mainly the regions of what is now considered as Assam and Bengal, which emerged in erstwhile western Kamarupa Kingdom. It is named after the Koch community, emerged as the dominant ruling house in the Kamata kingdom in 1257 C, and after the fall of the Khen dynasty in 1498 C. The first of the Koch kings, Viswa Singha, and then his sons, Nara Narayan as the subsequent king and Chilarai as the general, soon occupied the western portion of the erstwhile Kamarupa kingdom, as well as some regions of South Assam. The dynasty forked for the first time into two major branches that controlled Koch Bihar and Koch Hajo. Koch Bihar became a vassal of the Mughals, whereas Koch Hajo came under Ahom control and was subsequently absorbed. Koch Bihar became a princely state during British rule and was absorbed after Indian independence. The third branch of this dynasty, Khaspur, disappeared into the Kachari kingdom. History. Historical background. After the fall of the Pala dynasty of Kamarupa, the kingdom fractured into different domains in the 12th century. In the east, the Chutia kingdom emerged on the north and south bank of Brahmaputra River. The Ahom kingdom, which emerged in the south bank, later occupied and absorbed the larger Chutia kingdom. To their west was the Kachari kingdom. Sandhya, a ruler of Kamarupanagara Guwahati, moved his capital further west to present-day North Bengal in the middle of the 13th century, and the domain he ruled over came to be called Kamata Kingdom. The buffer region between the eastern kingdoms and Kamata was the domain of the Baro Bayans chieftains. Alauddin Hussain Shah of Ghor defeated Nilambar of Kamata in 1498, occupied the region, and placed his son Daniel in charge. Within a few years, the Baro Bayans, led by one Harup Narayan of the Brahmaputra Valley, defeated, captured, and executed Daniel, and the region lapsed into Bayan confederate rule. Meanwhile, an alliance was formed when a Mech chief, Haridas Mandal, married two sisters Hira and Jira, the daughters of Hajo, a Koch chief. Haridas Mandal's domain was in Chikna Mountains, situated between the Sankosh River and the Champabati River in Kokrajhar district of undivided Golpara district of Assam. Visu, who was to later become Viswa Singha, was born to Haridas Mandal and Hira. Later, Brahmin pundits created a legend that Lord Siva was the father of Viswa Singha to accord legitimacy to the ruler. Beginning of the Koch dynasty. According to J. N. Sarkar, when Bisu, as Viswa Singha was then known, acquired power, the Brahmins found him out and conferred on him the status of the Kshatriya Varna, and the subsequent interaction with Brahmins lead to the Hinduization of his tribesmen. The earliest known ancestor of Viswa Singha was his father Harya Mandal, from the Chiknabari village in undivided Golpara district, the head of the 12 most powerful Mech families. Harya Mandal was married to Jira and Hira, daughters of a Koch chief named Hajo, after whom Koch Hajo was named. Viswa Singha was the son of Harya Mandal and Hira. Consolidation of power. Viswa Singha sought the alliance of tribal Koch. Successively, he defeated the Bayans of Auguri, Jhargaon, Karnapur, Phulaguri, Bijni, and Panjunath Pandu in Guwahati. He was particularly stretched by the Bayan of Karnapur, and could defeat him only by a stratagem during Bihu. After subjugating the petty rulers, he announced himself the king of Kamata, bounded on the east by Barnadi River and on the west by the Karatoya River in the year 1515. He moved his capital from Chakana to Kamatapur, also called Kantapur, which is just a few miles southeast of the present-day Koch Bihar town. Viswa Singha's two sons, Nara Narayan and Shukladwaj Chilarai, the king and the commander-in-chief of the army respectively, took the kingdom to its zenith. Nara Narayan made Raghudev, the son of Chilarai, the governor of Koch Hajo, the eastern portion of the country. After the death of Nara Narayan, Raghudev declared independence. The division of the Kamata kingdom into Koch Bihar and Koch Hajo was permanent. Nara Narayan was impressed by the Bhakti saint Srimanta Sankar Deva, who became a member of his court in the last 3 years of his life, and who established a satra in the kingdom. Kings. Rulers of undivided Koch kingdom. Viswa Singha 1540. Nara Narayan 1540–1586. Rulers of Koch Bihar. Lakshmi Narayan. Narayan. Pran Narayan. Vasudev Narayan. Mahendra Narayan. Rup Narayan. Upendra Narayan. Devendra Narayan. Darjendra Narayan. Rajendra Narayan. Darendra Narayan. Harendra Narayan. Shivendra Narayan. Narendra Narayan. Enripendra Narayan. Rajendra Narayan Roman II. Jaitendra Narayan, father of Gayatri Devi. Jagadipendra Narayan. Varajdendra Narayan. Rulers of Koch Hajo. Raghudev, son of Chilarai, nephew of Nara Narayan. Parikshit Narayan. Rulers of Darrang. Parikshit Narayana was attacked by the Mughals stationed at Dhaka in alliance with Lakshmi Narayan of Koch Bihar in 1612. His kingdom Koch Hajo, bounded by Sankosh River in the west and Barnadi River in the east, was occupied by the end of that year. Parikshit Narayan was sent to Delhi for an audience with the Mughal emperor, but his brother Narayan escaped and took refuge in the Ahom kingdom. The region to the east of Barnadi and up to the Barali River was under the control of some Baro Bayan chieftains. They were soon removed by the Mughals. In 1615 the Mughals, under Sid Hakim and Sid Abad Bakr, attacked the Ahoms but were repelled back to the Barnadi River. The Ahom king, Pratap Singha, then established Narayan as a vassal in the newly acquired region between Barnadi and Barali rivers and called it Darrang. Narayan's descendants continued to rule the region till it was annexed by the British in 1826. Narayan, brother of Parikshit Narayan. Mahendra Narayan. Chandra Narayan. Surya Narayan. Rulers of Beltola. Gaj Narayan Dev, brother of Parikshit Narayan, ruler of Koch Hajo, brother of Narayan, first Koch ruler of Darrang. Shivendra Narayan Dev, son of Gaj Narayan. Gandharva Narayan Dev, son of Shivendra Narayan. Ahom Narayan Dev, son of Gandharva Narayan Dev. Dwaja Narayan Dev, son of Ahom Narayan Dev. Jay Narayan Dev, son of Dwaja Narayan Dev. Lambadar Narayan Dev, son of Jay Narayan Dev. Lakpal Narayan Dev, son of Lambadar Narayan Dev. Amrit Narayan Dev, son of Lakpal Narayan Dev. Chandra Narayan Dev, son of Lakpal Narayan Dev, died 1910 c. Rajendra Narayan Dev, son of Chandra Narayan Dev, died 1937 c. Lakshmi Priya Devi, wife of Rajendra Narayan Dev, reigned 1937–1947 c. died 1991 c. Rulers of Bijni. The Bijni rulers reigned between the Sankosh and the Manas rivers, the region immediately to the east of Koch Bihar. Chandra Narayan, son of Parikshit Narayan. Joy Narayan. Shiv Narayan. Bijoy Narayan. Mukunda Narayan. Haridev Narayan. Indra Narayan. Amrit Narayan. Kumud Narayan. Virendra Narayan. Rulers of Khaspur. The Barak Valley was obtained by Chilarai in 1562 from the Twipra kingdom during his expedition, when he subjugated most of the major rulers in northeast India and established a Khaspur state with a garrison at Brahmapur that eventually came to be called Khaspur Brahmapur Kachpur Khaspur. The Koch rule began with the appointment of Kamal Narayan, step-brother of Chilarai and Nara Narayan, as the Dewan a couple of years after the establishment of the garrison. Nara Narayan established 18 clans of Koch families that took hereditary roles in the state of Khaspur and who came to be known as Dhyans after Dewan. The independent rule of the Khaspur rulers ended in 1745, when it merged with the Kachari kingdom. The rulers of the Koch kingdom at Khaspur were Kamal Narayan Gohain Kamal, son of Viswa Singha, governor of Khaspur. Udita Narayan declared independence of Khaspur in 1590. Vijay Narayana, Dihar Narayana, Mahendra Narayana, Ranjit, Nara Singha. Singha, his only issue, daughter Kanchani, married a prince of Kachari kingdom, and Khaspur merged with the Kachari kingdom. Gallery